Black Ops 6 Zombies HUD. The Black Ops 6 Zombies HUD, as of right now, is one of the most controversial talks within the zombies community right now, in regards to how it looks like Cold War, Vanguard, and Modern Warfare zombies. Although we can customize it a little bit by turning off little things off here and then, maybe not everything, but some stuff just to make it a tiny bit better. Of course, with us being given presets, and we've been given screenshots by Treyarch of 2 of the presets for zombies. You have the default HUD, which honestly, in my opinion, compared to that of Cold War, it isn't actually that bad. But then you have the Black Ops 3 Legacy HUD. Now, my problems with the Black Ops 3 Legacy HUD is that it doesn't really have that BO3-esque feel. I mean, yes, you've got the round count and where Black Ops 3 was, you've got the perks, you've got the specialist, you've got your basic BO3 shit, but here are my couple issues. One, why is it the perks are so small? If it's going to be a BO3 Legacy HUD, those perks need to be bigger and connected to each other instead of it being spaced out. Why is the specialist at the very bottom middle of the screen when it should be at the far right along with the ammo count? And it honestly makes me wonder why they done that in the first place, because the default HUD in terms of the specialist made it actually look better. The gobblegums themselves are actually placed perfectly. Of course, then after that you'll see Peck or the characters that will be talked to via the radio. Of course, along with this, we also do not have a mini-map, which is also a good thing with the Black Ops 3 Legacy HUD. But aside from that, this HUD isn't Black Ops 3 at all. It just feels like, its own HUD. It's got, some things about Black Ops 3 that's right, but I'm saying like 90% of the HUDs isn't really Black Ops 3. It feels like its own Black Ops 6 Zombies HUD, but there are a couple of changes that are definitely needing to be changed here. Now, let's talk about the previous HUDs that we have gone from World at War all the way to Black Ops 6. World at War was basic, there was nothing much special about World at War. I mean, really all you had was the simple blood splatter of points, of course the name of your weapon, how many bullets you had, your grenades, your perks, and of course the round count itself. Then as for Black Ops 1, yes, the perks are spaced out, but if the perks are going to be spaced out, I would personally think they really need to be bigger. But of course, along with that, on the right you do have your simple, grenades, claymores that you would get. The BO1 HUD isn't anything special, but it's got the zombies feel to it. And then of course, going to Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 Zombies, in my opinion, probably has the best HUDs. My reason for this is because every single map of Black Ops 2, you had a different looking HUD. I mean, look at Origins here. It was definitely dedicated to the map Origins. And then when it came to different other maps, like Buried or Mob Dead, you would have HUDs specifically dedicated to those maps. Where did that feel of HUDs go? For anyone out there going, listen man, it's just a HUD, why is it that important? Because I was one of those people too, alright? As time's went on, I've started to realize how important a HUD actually is, and this is why I'm really glad that we're now starting to talk about the Zombies HUD a lot more. Obviously, when you load into a game, you're expecting greatness, you're expecting great graphics, you're expecting a good feeling, but then when you see like a bunch of shit on your screen like this, it's not really that pleasant. Obviously, that was a bit of an over-exaggeration, but you get what I mean. You don't want a lot of shit on your screen, you want the least amount of shit as possible, Have some necessary shit in there that, seeing your ammo count, seeing your perks, seeing the rounds you're on, like, all the basic necessities, but then there's some stuff that, like, you really don't need. Or, in this case, like, if you do want the mini-map or somewhat, you could just turn it off or on. But as far as I'm aware, I think you can only turn it off from a preset. I'm hearing a lot of people saying you can turn it off just with any HUD preset, or you could just turn it off with specific presets and you can't actually turn it off manually. Like, I don't know, we'll just see how it is on launch. But still, there's a lot of things in recent HUDs, specifically from Cold War Zombies HUDs to Black Ops 6 Zombies HUDs, that I feel like we just don't need. Of course, I've seen a lot of the argument that, having the minimap, for an example, is actually definitely a big help, because, we've had this, glitch in zombies before where the zombies stuck outside a barrier, we can't find them. Of course, the minimap will help refresh, the whole zombies map as a whole, depending on where you are on the minimap, and it'll show like a little red dot indicating where the enemy is, because If you can't find that last zombie and it's starting to get annoying, the mini-map will help you. But of course, for zombies, it just doesn't feel right. But I don't really mind the mini-map personally. It's really just the other stuff that are really not necessary. But aside from that, that's why HUDs in video games in general are super important, because of the fact that you want to go into the game, have a good looking HUD, have the necessary shit you need, and then after that go and do what you want. Of course, with Black Ops 6 there are some things customizable, which is a good step in the right direction. But the problem is with the Black Ops 6 Zombies HUD is that the fact that it doesn't feel like zombies, which I will talk to in a second here. Going off of that, let's continue on where we last left off with our previous HUDs. Of course, now we are going to be talking about the Exo Zombies HUD. Now, with Exo Zombies, you know, a lot of people have different feelings about Exo Zombies. I have different feelings about Exo Zombies, but looking at the HUDs, you know, you got your player model down at the bottom left along with the points. You got your ammo. The perks are definitely displayed in a weird way. Instead of going sideways, they're going up, which honestly, you know, to me that's just whatever. And then of course you got the round count at the top left. Honestly, a pretty clean HUD, you know, nothing too, you know, overbearing, nothing too, you know, so much over your screen, you know, it's quite simple honestly, and it's, you know, nothing special, but it's a zombies feel, especially for Exo Zombies. And then of course we got the one and only Black Ops 3. Now Black Ops 3, the only map that made it feel like a unique HUD to a specific map was of course Shadows of Evil. Most of the stuff were orange, the perk icons were different, and then of course along with that you had a different max ammo round changer as well. But aside from that, Black Ops 3 is definitely more, you know, the cleanest HUD here. You've got your player icons. They're small, but not small enough to the point where you can't see them. They're actually really at the perfect size. Along with that, you can see the points perfectly, you can see the round count perfectly as well, if at the bottom left, and of course you have the perks at a perfect size where they're not spaced out, they're actually all fitted together. And that's where I really have a problem with the Black Ops 3 Legacy HUD. I don't really have a problem with perks being spaced out, but if you're making it spaced out, I really recommend you make it bigger. If you are doing a HUD like Black Ops 3, they need to be put together, because honestly, I feel like that would make it look better, and of course, you know, a lot of stuff just wouldn't seem out of place with the Black Ops 3 Legacy HUD. And along with that, even if you put them together, I still feel like they should be a bit bigger in my opinion. And then of course you've got a cool looking right side to it where you can see your gobblegum, how many uses you have, you know, you can see your specialist weapon, and along with that you can see your ammo count at the bottom right, along with your grenades and your special grenades. Cool shit there, honestly. And you know, honestly, look at the screenshot, compare it to Black Ops 3's supposed Legacy HUD in Black Ops 6. Yeah, you tell me that's Black Ops 3. You tell me. I'm not saying, you know, it's not all Black Ops 3. It definitely has some Black Ops 3 implications, but from the way it sounds like the Black Ops 3 Legacy HUD, you know, that sounds cool. It sounds like a one-on-one replica. People would want to run that, but it's not, and that alone itself just doesn't sound very Legacy at all for a HUD. Now moving on to Infinite Warfare Zombies. Now this is another point I wanted to bring up, as Cold War Zombies made it where the perks icons were down at the bottom middle of the screen. Here's the thing with Infinite Warfare Zombies, you know, they have got their perks also spaced out, and I don't really think that's a bad thing at all. I think my biggest problem is that the fact that the perks are too goddamn small. It needs to be bigger. And then of course you got the player icons down at the bottom left, and then of course you got your fate and fortune cards on the right, and instead of your round count tally marks at the top right, you have a movie clipboard saying what round you're on. I don't even think it's called a movie clipboard. I don't know what the fuck it's called, I'm really sorry. But of course with every map, the player icon side of things would always change in Infinite Warfare Zombies. You know, in this case the screenshot I'm showing you here is dedicated for Beast from Beyond, but on every other map the player icon side of the HUDs for Infinite Warfare Zombies would change depending on the theme of the map, which was also a really cool thing that they done in Black Ops 2. Again, I'd quite like to see unique HUDs for every map. That would be quite cool in my opinion. And then of course we go to World War II. You know, World War II's got its zombies feel, but if anything, it's just bland. Like, of course you got the bottom left here, you see your characters, you know, it's alright, and then you got your armor shields here, you know, with it being within the player icon, I definitely think that was a smart move of them, especially when, you know, our current, you know, armor system within Black Ops 6 Zombies isn't within, you know, the player model. There isn't even a player profile picture of the characters, you know, it's just the one from Modern Warfare Zombies. But then after that we have got, you know, your specialist. You know, that doesn't appear all the time there, but every time your specialist is ready within World War II Zombies, it will appear in the bottom middle of the screen telling you that it's ready. Something I really don't think that's needed, but you know, in case you're dumbasses like me and, you know, can't use their eyes properly, I guess it's good. And then, of course, along with that, you have your 3 mods, which, you know, enhances your play of World War II zombies. You know, in this case, you've got Guide's Child, which makes you spawn in the game with 3 plates of armor. And then after that, you can have Permanent Mule Kick, which, you know, in this case, the better version, probably the best version of Mule Kick. It doesn't work as a perk. It works as a little side bonus thing, and you will never get rid of that 3rd gun. And then, of course, after that, you know, you've got your ammo count, and then on the right there, you've got, you know, your dropping your jolts, pulling out a specialist weapon or a wonder weapon, and then, of course, you've got the specialist mirror itself. It's quite cool stuff, and with how World War II laid it out, it's actually pretty good, but again, World War II just makes it look bland, but probably still got more of a zombies feel. And then we get to the big boy where I think this topic started it all. Black Ops 4. Now, I'm actually going to say, Black Ops 4 may have been a mess, but at least it has a zombies feel. You've got the player profile pictures on the left here, along with their respective points. You've got the round count at the top left, which isn't really that bad. You've got the, which, me personally, I thought this was quite cool. The way the weapon looks, along with the name of the weapon, and of course the ammo count. I just thought you seen how the weapon looks within that little border there. I just thought that was quite cool. It's definitely not needed. I definitely don't think it should come back, but I don't know, I kind of thought that was quite cool. The perk icons, you know, it's whatever. With how Black Ops 4's perk system worked, that was just whatever. I didn't mind it. But what makes it worse is if you get a perk up, or you get a perkaholic, especially a perkaholic within Black Ops 4 Zombies, you don't get all the perks. You just get a bonus like 6 perks on all the 4 perks you already have, making you have 10 perks. But those bonus 6 perks just get plonked on the left, the bottom left of your screen, like on the right side of your player icon, you know, point system thing, whatever you see. I can't speak English today, what the fuck am I doing? And then of course, on the right, you have your specialist weapon and your frag grenades, which again, I don't think that was needed. I think the biggest thing that puts away is, you know, the elixirs just being there, especially on console. Within PC, it's kind of like Exo Zombies, where like the elixirs are stacked up instead of, you know, in Black Ops 4 Zombies, it's like a diamond. But it made it have a zombies feel to it, unlike, you know, Cold War and above, but that's just me. And then of course we get to Cold War, and honestly, Cold War, every time I look at the Cold War HUD, it's not even that bad. Honestly, the only thing I would say is, of course, you can turn off the compass, you can turn off some other things, but the minimap, especially on Cold War, it just had to go. Cold War, it just didn't feel right. And you know, the rarity, you know, where the gun is, where the specialist is, special grenades, your tactical grenades, your self-revive, the round count, like, that stuff was fine. I feel like the only thing, my problem with the Cold War HUD anyway, well, 2 problems, which, you know, I've said this for other HUDs as well, is 1, the minimap has to go. On that game, it just doesn't feel right for the minimap. No game feels right for the minimap, but it should have been an option where you could turn it off or on, especially for zombies. Because again, like my point earlier, if you're struggling to find the last zombie because it might be glitched out the map, or, you know, it's just somewhere and you've been struggling to find it for a while, you can turn on the minimap. Again, that should have been an option. Why it wasn't an option, I don't bloody know. But aside from that, I don't really mind the Cold War Zombies HUD. Again, the only problem is that it just wasn't zombified. It just felt like multiplayer. The only thing that felt really Zombies-esque to this was, of course, the round count, the specialist, and, you know, the little bonus points thing that you would see here. But aside from that, not really a Zombies-esque feel. I don't really think it's a bad HUD. Just make it feel like zombies. Now, I want to give huge shout-outs to Michael here. Please follow him on Twitter and YouTube, because, oh my god, this man can cook when it comes to the concepts. I'm going to show this one here, and I'll show more HUD concepts here in a sec that the community has made. This would be the Black Ops 3 Legacy HUD if they had implemented it into Cold War. And honestly, this is what the Black Ops 6 HUD should look like. Of course, you know, the little player icons on the left would have been better with the player profile pictures, but of course, I prefer that compared to how we got it in Modern Warfare Zombies in Black Ops 6. The round count's in a good place, the perks are bigger, and they're actually right beside each other. Michael can fucking cook, man. And then, of course, on the right, you know, you've literally everything was fine. I didn't say I had a problem with that at all. And then, of course, no minimap. This honestly looks like a good HUD. I wouldn't have any complaints about this at all. If I had to change anything, I'd probably just make, you know, the player, you know, little icons with points on the left, maybe like a tiny bit smaller. But aside from that, this looks like a good HUD. This is what the Black Ops 3 Legacy HUD should honestly be like. And then we get to Vanguard, and what a mess. I swear to god, the minimap grew in size. And then, of course, along with that, the round count back at the top right, which honestly, when it comes to where the round count is placed, I don't really have a problem with it. But for the Black Ops 3 Legacy HUD within Black Ops 6, as much as that's where it was placed in Black Ops 3, for whatever reason, just seeing in Black Ops 6 just feels very off-putting. And again, I'm blaming it on how the perks are placed and how spaced out they are and how small they look. But look at it from Vanguard here. Of course, you can see your weapon here, with how it looks, your bullets and your specialist. Honestly, the right side of it, it's not that bad. On the left side, it's similar to Cold War. Of course, you can see your salvage, your heart, and of course, you've got these hexagons, which is for the Covenant abilities, which honestly, again, is not that bad. So honestly, that's really all I would say. And then of course the minimap, and then we have Modern Warfare Zombies. I ain't gonna cap the minimap, I can live with it. And then of course on the bottom left, this is where I have a problem. They made, the Cold War and Vanguard Zombies HUD feel less like zombies, but Modern Warfare Zombies made it feel like nothing like zombies at all. Cold War and Vanguard, it kind of felt like zombies to an extent, but this is literally just Warzone. And then of course, seeing the armor plates literally right there where you need to manually apply them. Why? Why? Especially, why are we manually applying armor in Black Ops 6? Why didn't they just keep it like Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard, where you could just automatically run into armor and it would just automatically apply it to itself? The perks themselves, of course, the Modern Warfare Zombies, from how it looks here, you could definitely see Black Ops 6 is definitely following that same route. I don't agree with it, but make them a bit bigger. If they're going to be spaced out and they are going to be in the bottom middle, which honestly I'm fine with, just make them bigger. Them being spaced out isn't my problem. Just make them really a bit bigger. But see, if they were together, I think that would be, good also. I just really think the biggest issue is that the perk icons themselves are way too small. And then of course you can see your weapon here, you can see your tier of your weapon, and then you can see like what ammo mod you have on it, which honestly, that's not really that bad, to be honest. That's okay. And then of course you've got your specialist here, and then after that you have your special grenades, and of course your just normal ass grenades. This literally feels nothing like zombies. This is 100% Warzone. Just seeing these parts of the HUD in particular just screams Warzone. The minimap honestly feels more like zombies. Why? Because the minimap itself changes color, because you're going into different tiers of difficulty regarding the zombies enemy types. That may be a hot take there, but that's how it feels to me. Why does a zombie look like he's taking a shit? You know what my biggest problem is with the Black Ops 6 HUD? Especially when they've technically already fixed the issue somewhat to an extent. When you take the mutant injection score streak and you turn in to a mangler, the bottom left of your HUD changes, kind of giving you that Black Ops 4 profile picture to your character HUD's look. You can see how much health your mangler health has left. You can see your player icon, the name, the salvage, the points, and of course you can see the actual player profile picture. But why is it only dedicated to the mangler? That alone annoys me. As of recently, well, maybe not as of recently as the time I'm recording this, but Battle.net a while ago actually made profile pictures for your profile on Battle.net dedicated to the zombies characters. Like, if you look on screen here, you've got Weaver, you've got Mai, you've got Carvin, you've got Grey. They could literally use this in game. Do I think they will? No, which is unfortunate, but this is literally a good idea. Why is it only being used for profile pictures on your Battle.net profile? A waste of potential, in my opinion. Now we're going to start getting into the HUD concepts made by some people in the community, as I'm going to show you on screen here. The first one is from Perka. Perka made this HUD concept dedicated to Black Ops 6, of course. You had the minimap on the top, which you know, it's okay. The minimap with how it looks compared to the other minimaps, I think it's alright. On the bottom left, you've got that Black Ops 4 S type feel. You got your player, profile picture icon on the left there, your points, your salvage, your armor, and then of course you got seeing how much health you have, which is the purple, and then the blue is the armor, which honestly, if I mention anything that is needing changed within these HUD concepts or critiquing them anyway, I'm not hating on them, just a warning there. These HUD concepts are 100% better from what we've seen in Black Ops 6 as a whole, and Perka definitely cooked here. The reason why I am talking about certain changes to these HUD concepts is because, if you look at these HUD concepts and actually decide to take some ideas from them, that doesn't mean to say, the HUD concepts are all that right. There are some things that could be changed to make them better, but again, they are just concepts. It can be subject to change at any time. But of course, again, this already looks better than, the majority of the Black Ops 6, base HUD as it is. And again, Black Ops 6 going in a good and step direction here. You actually can't see what your gun looks like at the bottom right anymore. You could just see your bullet type, how much ammo you have, your tactical grenade, you know, your lethal grenades, and of course your specialist. And then Perk have made another HUD concept here where it's got that Black Ops 4-esque feel, kind of similar to the one I showed previously, but it's got a more of a Black Ops 3 feel to it. You've got the round count at the bottom left along with the perks, again being a shit ton bigger. I definitely think Modern Warfare Zombies in Black Ops 6's are just way too small, and them being spaced out, I don't even think it's the problem when the more I'm talking about this. They just need to be a lot bigger in my opinion. Now again, them being small, you know, people can say, but that's not really a problem. I know that, but it, you know, it just makes the HUDs look a bit more messy in my opinion, but again, that might just be me. And then of course on the right here you see your specialists, your tactical, your lethal grenades, and you know, the same as the last HUD. So honestly, this would be the HUDs right here that I would definitely go for in my opinion. So here is a HUD concept made by my good friend Vipers here, and as you see, you know, I did mention big, but there's a lot of big here. Of course, on the left here, I definitely like the look on what he was going for. Yes, he didn't use the BattleNet, you know, profile pictures, but, you know, again, using the players' faces as icons on the HUD is a step in the right direction immediately. And I definitely like how he's left little gaps in the armor plating system. I definitely do like how on the armor plating system there were little gaps in between here. Because, you know, I think that would make it more easier to understand how much armor you have left, especially with how armor works in both Warzone and in Zombies. You got your health, you know, you got your salvage, you got your points, and of course you got your names. The round count, you know, it's looking nice. I'm liking the red's glow. Just make it a tiny bit small and I think it'd honestly be fine. And then of course, again, with all these perk icons that you see here, you know, great. I honestly think they're perfect size. And of course, on the right here, you have your ammo count along with, you know, seeing what rarity it is, your specialist, your tactical, your lethal grenade. You know, it looks okay. I definitely made them smaller, but again, step in the right direction. And I honestly like with what Viper's done here, and this reminds me somewhat of the Fate and Fortune cards from Infinite Warfare Zombies. In Infinite Warfare Zombies, if you ever wanted to switch to another card, all you had to do was press right or left on your D-pad, or up or down, or, you know, a certain keybind on your PC to switch to another card. Within Black Ops 6 Zombies concept HUDs here made by Vipers, within the Gobblegums here, I'm definitely getting a certain feel like that. You're either pressing right or left on your D-pad to switch to one of the 3 Gobblegums that you're stocking up. And I honestly think that that's actually quite a cool ass idea, instead of them just popping out from the right, choosing which one you want to select, and then eating it. You know, that itself, the one that Treyarch has obviously made, the official version, isn't bad itself, but I definitely think the one that Vipers made definitely gives it more of a Zombies feel, and I like how it's somewhat inspired by Infinite Warfare Zombies. I doubt it was inspired by Infinite Warfare, but, you know, I actually like, you know, with what Viper's done, and that's the feel that I'm getting off, and I really liked that idea with what Infinite Warfare Zombies was going for. And then after that, we are going into the HUD concepts from Michael. The first one I'm showing you here, you know, honestly, this is looking good. This is looking really good. You know, I'm loving the saturation as well. From looking from Michael's, you know, you got the player icon, already great. The spaces in between, you know, the armor plates, you know, the health bar, points, the salvage, the round count. The perks, yes, you can see that they're spaced out, but again, this is actually a good example here. If the perks were to be spaced out, this is how much spaced out they should be, and you know, with how big they should be. I'm going to give definitely big props to Michael. If, you know, in the direction of keeping the perks spaced out a bit within the HUD, he's definitely made this probably the best looking version of perks being spaced out. For all the other HUD concepts I saw before, all of them were, at least I'm pretty sure, all connected, which honestly, again, they look good, but in terms of perks that are spaced out, this is what they should look like. And then of course, on the right here, you can see your rarity, you can see your packed here, you know, you can see your AAT, you can see your bullets, and then with on the right here, Michael's actually done a change to the tactical grenade and the lethal grenade slot, where it's got a bit of a blood splatter, kind of similar to what Black Ops 1 HUD looks like, because Black Ops 1 in World of Wars HUD was simply just little blood splatters, but that alone is a Zombies feel. I mean, look at the round count. It's just blood. That alone is a Zombies feel. It's, again, a big change that can honestly be fixed. The specialist, of course, is not really needed to be changed. And of course, with the Black Ops 6 official look for the Gobblegums within the HUD, the thing that Michael's changed here is that every single section, depending on the color of Gobblegum you have, has a different color, which honestly, compared to that of the Black Ops 6 official, I definitely think that is way better, you know, having different colors instead of it just being all white. So I say big W's there, in my opinion. And then here is the HUD that I just shown to you guys what it would look like in the gameplay aspect. And you honestly cannot tell me that this does not look and feel like Zombies already. this is definitely a better direction. Sure, I would make things maybe just a little bit smaller, but aside from that, Michael already pulling in with the W's like 5% perk highs without this full HUD concept ideas. This feels like zombies, and honestly, I swear if you pull in, you know, perks and vipers as well, this would honestly feel like zombies also. And here is a HUD concept from DRZ, also known as his DRZ, where it shows, you know, the player icons, which, you know, dedicated to operas, because as you guys know, as much as we do have a set crew, you can also place operas if you want to, especially when we don't have a set crew for Liberty Falls. And then along with that, you have the round count at the bottom left. The perks, they're a bit small, but, you know, again, make them bigger, and honestly, they look totally fine. And at least they're not as super spaced out compared to that of how the Black Ops 6 Zombies perks are spaced out. And then on the right here, you've definitely got more of a Black Ops 3-esque feel with, you know, the little Gobblegum-esque, you know, wheel here. The power-ups in the middle, I don't know why that is, but, you know, that looks cool. You can see your ammo count, the name of the weapon, and of course, the color itself is dedicated to the rarity, which I honestly think is really cool. So all in all these HUD concepts are really cool, and I honestly think if treyarch take inspiration from them and, you know, fix the HUD and make it feel more like zombies, even simply as just adding in blood splatters or, you know, dark ether crystals, that alone feels like zombies. And that is the biggest problem with recent HUDs, being Cold War up to Black Ops 6. And now another little thing that I want to talk about here, which is something FPS Psycho mentioned, the gobblegum implementation of every time you eat a gobblegum. Why is it that when you eat a gobblegum, it appears on the top right, telling you the name of it and just letting you know that it's activated? Letting you know that it's been activated isn't the problem. It's the fact that, again, it doesn't feel like zombies. In BO3, when you activate it, it showed you the gobblegum, showed you the name of it, and it gave you a description within the game on how the gobblegum works, which I honestly think was a cool ass idea for treyarch to do back in Black Ops 3. And of course, if maybe this was happened in Black Ops 6, and maybe, you know, I've just got a shitty screenshot here, but as far as I can see, there's no description of how the gobblegum works within Black Ops 6 every time you activate it. Now, of course, people could just read it and go, okay, I know how to work it, but, you know, there's going to be times where, you know, you activate a gobblegum or new gobblegums that we've never seen before, and you're going to wonder, how does this gobblegum work, you know? Or again, there might be times where you just forget how a gobblegum works, but every time you eat it, it would tell you how it works. So honestly, little changes like that would make the game so much better, in my opinion. The Black Ops 6 HUD alone is not bad. The biggest problem and the biggest thing that's missing, and you can ask anyone else who's out there that's talking about the Black Ops 6 Zombies HUD as it stands, is that it just does not feel like zombies. The HUD alone in Black Ops 6 is not that bad looking. It just needs to feel like zombies. There needs to be a little couple of changes here and then, and honestly, I think with how the game looks and how it will play out, will make it feel and make it good like zombies again. But yeah, that's just me in my opinion. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please subscribe, leave a like, click notification bell, always do to the channel. Please do go check out everyone that I've mentioned in the description below, especially with all the people's concepts that I did show on today's video here. But guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all within the next video live stream, and goodbye.